Joining me today is Atlanta's premier caterer and celebrity chef, Razia Sabour, who is also the winner of the Great Soul Food Cook-Off on OWN Network, a cooking competition that celebrates soul food as the foundation of American cuisine. Chef Raz has a penchant for Southern cuisine and is determined to preserve the African-American heritage through food. One way she's already doing that is through her premier catering company called Fuller Food in Atlanta, Georgia. Today, on the show, she's cooking up a Southern offering. So pull up a chair, grab a fork, and dig in. Chef Raz, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, and I'm happy to eat.
Yes, so this is gonna be a whole Southern spread. I'm gonna feed you well, but I thought we would start with a Southern drink. And this bourbon is I.W. Harper. This is just tea, black tea that I've steeped down. And then this is a peach puree. And you can do this while I'm building the drink in the shaker.
Okay.
I just want you to put some ice in those glasses.
Okay.
Glass for you, glass for me. And then we're gonna put some peaches in there as well. I'm gonna start building the drink with this tea. Like I said, it's black tea.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna put roughly a cup of tea in here. And then 1/4 of a cup of this peach puree. Peach puree is really simple, or any puree is really simple. It's just the actual fruit, a little bit of water to loosen it up, and then some sugar. Everything else you kind of can just eyeball it. But when you do, you know, bourbon or any alcohol, I kind of like to just measure it.
And the peaches, the frozen peaches at the bottom also can serve as ice?
Yeah, so if your peaches are truly frozen, I keep fresh fruit in the freezer just for this reason, for cocktails.
Okay.
So this is our drink. Let's say cheers.
Cheers.
And then we can get started cooking. But you can decorate this with anything. This is just a clean cocktail, but we could have sliced up a few lemons. We could have added some fresh mint.
What are we calling this?
This is a bourbon peach tea.
Bourbon peach
because
tea.
This is the tea. We have the peach nectar.
Okay.
Just down in the south, this is Georgia. Georgia is a, peach state. So we have the peach nectar, and then we have bourbon.
Okay, let's see. Cheers again.
Cheers again.
Wow.
So now we can move to, I would like to make the dessert. For dessert, we're gonna have a peach cobbler.
Okay.
But it takes about 50 minutes to an hour to bake. By the time we finish eating, it's done. So you saute the peaches. I'm gonna show you what happens.
Okay.
This is just 1/4 of a cup of water.
Right? Okay.
And then we're gonna add some peaches to that. So we're gonna put them down in here.
And why did you say we saute them?
So you saute the peaches so that the sugar and the water and the peaches all come together. You're just gonna cook it down for 5 minutes or so.
You just use the natural juice that's in the peaches already?
Well, you can.
Okay.
This is down in water. It's not peach season, but I still wanted to do this with you today. So these are canned peaches that I just diced up.
Okay, so you can do that too.
And so I rinse them off, but you can use the juice. You can. I will not say that you cannot. So the butter is just gonna go down into the ramekin. As the flour mixture right here is baking up, the butter is gonna help that to rise, and it's gonna help the crust to become crusty. Take a little less than a full scoop.
Okay.
So this mixture right here, go ahead, just use
That's
a full
good?
scoop. No,
full scoop.
Use a full, I'm sorry.
All right.
There you go. So this mixture is just
and just dump it in there.
Yep.
Okay. Peach cobbler is so intimidating because everybody doesn't get it right. But you're making it feel easy.
I want to teach you something real quick. This mixture is just 1, 1, and 1. It's 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of self-rising flour. Self-rising flour just means that all of the leavening agents are already in the mix.
Okay.
So baking soda, baking powder, it's already in self-rising flour.
Ah, I see.
And then, put them together, whisk them together, and then add your milk, whisk that. You kind of still want it to be lumpy. You see how the consistency is?
Yeah. Okay, so keep the lumps.
Yeah, keep the lumps, and then you don't mix this.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I would have mixed it instantly.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because it's going to rise to the top, and when you mix it, you're breaking up the agents in it,
Okay.
and then it's just going to crumble. It's not going to come up. It's not going to rise
Gotcha.
up to
Gotcha.
the top. So now we'll just top this,
And
and it's
our
just going to cook
peaches
for a
are,
minute.
so our peaches supposed to be like how they are now, just
Yep.
bubbling a little bit?
Yep, just simmering a little bit. You're just simmering it a little bit to get the sugar to dissolve.
Okay.
That's all.
Gotcha.
And then once you see, you can't see the sugar, and it's kind of thick a little bit, you know.
It is thickening.
So you want the liquid as well as the peaches.
Okay.
And you see, you want to kind of come 3/4 of the way like that, just up to
Okay.
the top.
Is there a wrong way to do this?
There are many wrong ways to do this, but African American culture, the recipes weren't really written down. It's like my mom would say, like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So even biscuits or something like that, I try to figure out the easiest method for, you know, like no-fail cooking. But I'm gonna turn this on real quick so we can get it going. So you put it at 350 for 1 hour.
For 1 hour at
Yeah,
350.
and you kind of keep an eye on it because it might be 50 minutes, it might be an hour, you never know, depending on what you're baking in.
All right, so the peach cobbler is in the oven.
Yes.
So what else is on the menu?
What else is on the menu? We're gonna pan-sear some catfish, and we're gonna also have it with red beans and rice.
Ooh, okay.
So, our red beans and rice have been stewing
Okay.
down. You kind of cook it down for a while.
Oh, that
red
looks
beans and rice,
It's really good.
very Haitian dish, but all up and down, you know, the Caribbean, Haiti.
My husband's from
West
Baton
Africa.
Rouge, and I'm
Oh,
always,
really?
I'm always
So,
intimidated because his family, you know, they're Louisiana, like they
Yeah.
know red beans and rice. So I haven't fully learned how to actually master this. So I'm super excited about this.
So that's what Haitian refugees did, or migrated, I should say,
Okay.
from Haiti to New Orleans and kind of doubled the population.
Oh, wow.
In New Orleans, but they came up with this dish there.
Okay.
So this is a dish that comes from freed Africans or freed blacks and Haitians down in New Orleans.
Okay.
Red beans and rice.
So what is actually
so-
the secret, like, to red beans and rice? Is it because, so you have to, like you said, you have to put them in water?
Yes, so you soak them in water overnight, right?
Okay.
Any beans that float up to the top, they're no good. You just remove the beans in the morning, the ones that
Really?
float up to the top, yep. But yeah, so you soak them overnight, and then in the morning, you put them down in the stock. I never really use water. So I save my stock from anything. You can use the bulbs of celery, the peelings from your onions, anything, carrots, onions, all of that. You can
Okay.
use that, and that's a veggie stock. But so you started off with maybe like a beef stock or a veggie stock,
Okay.
which is your liquid.
And what kind of
And-
beans specifically?
These are kidney beans.
Okay, kidney
So I
beans.
have light kidney beans and then the dark red kidney beans. I mix them together. But you could use any beans. Like rice and beans, that's a Caribbean dish. Haiti, that's a West African dish, rice and beans. So any kind of beans. It could be black beans, you know, in South America.
Yeah.
But
And
so
I'm
now
seeing-
you can see it kind of simmer.
I'm seeing some other
Yeah.
stuff in here too. So what else is mixed inside of the beans?
This is called the Trinity. The
Okay.
Trinity is onions, bell pepper, and celery. You just want to bring it down to a simmer.
Simmer,
After
okay.
it's boiling, you want to bring it down to a simmer. You just let it stew while you're cooking everything else. So maybe like an hour, but it can be less. Like you don't have to cook it for a long time.
Okay.
The beans need about an hour to cook. Hour, maybe 45 minutes to cook.
Gotcha.
But
And
it can
then
stew down.
That over rice.
And that over rice.
So how do you feel
Yes.
about people who use rice cookers?
I don't use rice. Well, I don't use a rice cooker. I don't use an air fryer either. But
What?
I'm a chef.
Hold on, time.
I like the stove.
Well-
It's like that's my meat. The stove is my vessel. It's my medium. It's what
Air
I use.
fryers have been like revolutionary. Like,
But I'm not trying to cook quick. So this is my spice blend.
Okay.
It's onion powder, garlic powder, and a little bit of cayenne.
Okay.
Or paprika, whichever you like. I'm gonna grab this fish for you, but I want you
Okay.
to use the rag that I
I need
gave
a
you.
towel.
Oh, you need another one because I took it from you? Okay.
Yes.
So I'll give you that one.
perfect. All right.
Grab that fish.
Hold on, fish.
You got it?
I think so.
Good
Put it
job.
here.
Yep, palm it.
Okay.
You put your tongue, put your tongue down, and then you just want to pat it dry. The reason why you want it to pat it dry is because you want everything that you're going to put on it, to coat it, to adhere to it.
Okay.
And it won't. It will just become soggy.
I
The
see.
water will absorb everything that you put on it if you leave it wet.
I see.
So you kind of just dry it out as much as possible. Yeah, but you're kind of cute with it. You wanna,
okay.
You wanna
Oh,
dry
really
her.
get in there.
Yeah, you want her to get dry.
Oh, yeah. All right, let me
down.
squeeze that.
Yes.
This is good to know.
That's it. That's
you know
good.
what? Oh, that's good?
That's good.
Oh, okay, I don't want to flatten
Yeah.
her.
All right, and here, you use your tongs again.
Okay.
You're just gonna lay her down on there. I'm sorry, I'm calling her a girl. You're gonna lay the fish down, and then you're gonna grab this one.
Do the same thing again?
Yep, do the same thing again.
So, all right, let's talk about this for a little bit. So, is catfish the best fish to fry?
So I made catfish today because catfish is very West African. When we came here, enslaved black people, when we came here, we came through South Carolina.
Okay.
And the lakes and rivers, they were abundant with catfish. So that became a staple for us because that was what was readily available. We didn't have to ask for that. And I'm just gonna grab the seasoning and kind of I just wanna cover it all. The higher up you are, the more likely you are to, you know, get coverage.
More ground.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna flip it over. So go ahead, you can start with yours.
Okay. And just take like a little bit here?
Yeah, just take a handful and kind of sprinkle. Yep, sprinkle to cover. There you go. Sprinkle to cover. There you go. Yep.
Oh, that's a lot. Is that a lot?
No, that's not, girl. Season it. Season well.
Okay.
And then you want to flip yours over when you finish.
All right.
And then we're going to do the same thing with the cornmeal. And what I say about this is our cornmeal right here. It's a very fine grain cornmeal.
Okay.
That's good. You did great.
Oh, that's good? Okay. What?
Why am I treating you like you can't cook? You can. Look, I'm used to cooking with people that I'm teaching.
'Cause you're
I'm not
here.
teaching you at all.
Until you leave, then I panic.
Okay, so look, I'm gonna do the same thing. And we can kind of just dump it on there, right?
Okay.
And then you wanna kind of touch the fish a little bit.
Okay.
See, lift it up, shake it off. So I'm trying to dust it as much as possible.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna kind of put it right back in the same spot.
Okay.
And we can leave it there for a second.
Leave it? Okay.
Yeah, we can leave it there for a second.
Yeah.
One reason why it could fall off while you put it into the grease is because it's wet.
Oh, so it's not dry enough.
That's one thing.
Okay.
Another thing is you're not dusting it. You have too much on there. So I would just go like this. And I'm gonna pick it up and shake it off. So
I'm
now
like,
it's on there.
that's nice. See, I would be like, that's not done.
So
That's
you
not
might
ready.
be patting it. You might be just putting too much crust on it.
Okay,
so
that's what
I'm
doing.
Yeah, I like a light dusting.
Gotcha.
I don't like a thick, battered fish. So what I just did was I put the pan on and I just turned it on.
Okay.
And those are our red beans, you
Ooh,
see?
yeah, it
They're just
smells so
stewing down. There's
good.
no wrong way to do this. Like you could put these in a crock pot and you can go away.
Okay.
You can cook this the whole time you're at work. This could just be simmering.
Okay, so you do believe in crock pots?
I don't use them, but I do know that you all do.
That's right.
And I don't have anything against them.
Yeah, okay.
But I enjoy cooking.
Yeah,
so,
see, that's the difference.
So the joy of cooking part is really like being behind the stove, feeling the vibe, actually being in the kitchen. I enjoy, most people are trying to hurry up and get out of the kitchen or get off of their feet anyway. So they're trying to figure out the quickest way to get something done in the kitchen. I more so like the experience of being in the kitchen.
Gotcha. That makes perfect sense.
Nothing against crock pots at all.
Okay.
Cook away, because there's lots of things you can do while you're sleeping too, you know? So if you can grab that oil for me.
Oh, oil?
That cooking oil. And this is just avocado oil.
Okay, that's another thing. So I've been using vegetable oil. Is that wrong?
You can. No, it's never wrong. So I use avocado oil. This can cook up to a heat point of 500 degrees.
Oh, wow.
So, and it's not gonna break down and burn.
Okay.
So it's kind of, again, fail-proof.
Okay. Yeah, but why avocado oil over others?
It's healthier.
Okay.
In my opinion, avocado oil is healthier. It's unrefined. It's not broken down. It's not heated to make the oil. It's cold pressed. It's just healthier. Not that we're doing a healthy thing at all. I mean, because we could deep fry this fish if we wanted to.
Right.
But we're not. We're just pan-searing it.
My mom made a whole Thanksgiving dinner using the microwave.
Oh, why?
So I don't know how to so I know how to cook. I'm domestic, y'all.
But
so
why did she do that?
Because she doesn't know how to cook.
Oh no.
I know how to cook. I taught myself. I got married. I became domestic, but I don't know how.
That's what happens to
I don't know how to throw down. Like, you know, so I'm trying to learn how to throw down.
You probably do. Your husband probably thinks that you throw
He's
down.
He's happy. We're still
And that's all that matters. Right. So that's all that matters.
I'm doing okay.
So what I was going to show you is the easiest way to see if your oil is hot enough.
Okay.
It's just to check it just like that. I'm just putting it in the pan.
Okay. And if it
pops, sizzles, if it sizzles up, you see that that's not doing that. So it's not hot enough yet.
Gotcha.
But this is what I do.
Ooh.
Let's touch it a little bit. And it's just warm. So I'm doing this wrong.
Don't try that at home, or people
Don't do that at home because it will just be wrong.
Where did your love for Southern cooking, where did that come from?
So I've been in Atlanta for about 16 years now.
Okay.
I started my business in 2011. Mm-hmm. My husband is from Mississippi. We met in college.
Wow.
And when we met in college, he told me something like, I don't eat vegetables. And I was like, who doesn't eat vegetables that wants to live? So I'm like, I'm gonna figure out a way to start introducing him to vegetables. So I would dice the vegetables up real fine, where you can't pick it out of food, and I would put it in his food. So that's kind of how I started cooking a lot.
Okay.
I grew up cooking a lot. My father was a chef, but I got my practice really in college by being a wife or a girlfriend.
Yes.
I wasn't even, don't cook for him if he doesn't marry you first.
Oh.
Tip. But okay, so now we have the hot, have it hot enough.
All right,
I'm gonna add a
oil is
little
ready.
bit more grease.
Okay.
I'm sorry, because we've just, you see the grease separated?
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of what happens on these non-stick pans, the grease will separate.
Okay.
So I wanted you to put yours in. So I'm gonna hold the plate for you after I do mine.
All right.
So we're just gonna coat it one more time just to make sure. And then we're gonna put it down face first because this is what we wanna brown. We wanna see it.
How do you know what's face first?
Because this is the back of the fish.
Okay.
This is the front.
Where that line is.
Yeah, but you see it didn't really sizzle when we put it in there. We're just gonna go ahead so we can go ahead and make the gravy because nothing bad is gonna happen. But you should.
It should wait.
All the time. Wait, I wanted you to do this, right?
Oh, okay, let me do this
Hold
one.
on, I'm gonna move over.
All right.
So listen, the grease is not even that hot. I'm talking to you like you can't cook once again. The grease is not, it's gonna cook, it's okay.
Okay.
Here we go. You're gonna pick it up just the way that I did.
Okay.
You're gonna dust it a little bit, like kind of shake it off.
boop, 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 boop.
Yep, there you go. And then you're gonna lay it down.
Oh, you said
you're gonna
face
use both of your hands when you're cooking.
So
yep.
this?
Yep, and you're gonna lay it right next to mine.
Okay.
Yep, there you go. Now we're gonna make the gravy. We need some more oil. Do me
Keep going.
2 more, there you go. That's good. So I wanna say, the thing about beef or chicken, heavy products like that or heavy animal products like that is they're gonna render their own fat off. I want you to grab those, the beef sausage. And this is just beef sausage that I chopped up. I just diced it. It's kind of a medium dice. The reason why it's a medium dice is so now we can smell the grease, right? We can smell it cooking.
This is ready to go in?
So now it's starting to cook, yeah. So this is a medium dice. Turn it down.
Whoa.
I'm gonna turn it down, I'm sorry.
The fire's working.
Look, don't try to sue me. This is just smoked beef sausage.
Okay.
And it, like I said, it's gonna render off its own fat, but the little bit of oil that we put in there, which was like 2 teaspoons, it will just help it get started.
We're gonna add our holy trinity.
So I'll take some from you rather
Okay.
than us just dumping it in there.
Okay.
And I also diced up some tomatoes to add to it.
Nice.
You just need a little bit. And the idea is to kind of saute it for a minute, right? And then we can add our broth. So this right here, this broth, stock broth, whatever you want to call it.
Does it matter, beef?
It doesn't matter. Whatever
Chicken?
stock you like, unless there's a person that's vegan, no, it doesn't matter.
Okay. More?
A little bit more. There we go. That's
right.
perfect. If this were to cook for a good amount of time, let's say 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it will render down and it will thicken by itself. So this is flour.
Okay.
I want you to hold that.
All right.
Flour and a whisk. And then you want to kind of whisk everything together. Yep, from around the sides and everything. Girl, you are a cook. Now you want to whisk this into the center.
My daughter loves this job. Taste test. All right.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
She comes in the kitchen while you're cooking and tastes it. Okay. That
there.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's there. So we can take our fish off.
And how do you know when it's like officially done?
There are temps for fish and chicken.
Okay.
Chicken is 165 on the inside. So I would say if you're cooking a bunch of different parts of chicken, you stick it into the thickest part of whatever chicken that you're cooking.
Okay.
And if it says 160, 165, it's cooked.
All right.
Fish is kind of the same. Fish is a quick cook. Fish is only gonna take 6 minutes. I don't care what fish it is.
6 minutes?
I don't care what fish it is. Fish is
Whoa.
gonna take.
That's a bold claim. Okay, and then
So-
how do we make this look pretty?
So let's do that.
Is that pretty or does that look like, what are you
It's
doing?
a lot,
All right, let me
but
cut
I'm
it.
not gonna judge you. You know, just like you don't want me to judge people. Don't want to judge the people.
Okay, so let me just make it.
This is mine.
Oh, that's pretty. Okay.
And then we're just gonna take a paper towel.
Okay.
Or I'm gonna take my paper towel. You're done with yours too?
Yes.
Okay. You're gonna take a paper towel.
Okay.
And I'll show you that I'm just gonna go around. I'm gonna find where I've made a little mishap. And I'm gonna just clean around the edge.
Okay.
This is where a towel will come into play also. This is another reason why a chef has a towel
I think that looks good.
hanging off of their apron. Okay, you're good?
Yeah.
I'm good too.
I think so.
Okay, here we go. We're done. Now we can eat it.
Okay, so this looks amazing. So let's dig in. Okay, I have to
While
say
we
this
eat.
first because it's so obvious. We both have on orange.
Yes.
Okay, so it makes me think, right? It makes me think we're complimenting each other.
Not really, we're matching.
We're
all the way.
basically matching.
Yes.
We're wearing the same thing.
Yes.
Okay, so but it also makes me think of food pairing and having these different combinations of
Yes.
things that complement each other. So when you think of catfish, I wouldn't have necessarily thought I should put together red beans and rice with that. So talk to me a little bit about how different aspects of a meal can complement each other.
I believe that red beans and rice, they're a dish on their own. Like
Okay.
it's a dish on its own. But the catfish just adds a different element to it. And they complement each other well.
Mm-hmm.
You can have this by itself. Even if you're a vegan, you could have red beans and rice just alone.
Okay.
A vegan stock or whatever. This is just vegetables and beans and then rice. It could be alone. But the catfish paired with it just makes it like a complete meal. And then you don't have that
Yes.
much. We just have a little portion of fish and a little bit
Right.
of beans and rice. You made that gravy. You did a great job.
But another thing about food is, even though it's a physical experience, so
Yes.
to speak, there's some emotional things that kind of come along with that. Can you talk to me about a time where you felt like emotional or you had an emotional reaction to food?
To food, I think I would say growing up, right, my father was a chef, but he was also a military type personality. He was in the military.
Okay.
So he was very strict as it came to cooking. Knife skills, seasoning food, all of these things were very important. So you couldn't make a mistake. So emotionally, cooking was a hard thing for me growing up because it was very serious. But now the smell of food brings about an emotion. Like, you know, you can smell something and have a memory about a dish or whatever the case may be. Food was like that for me growing up. Like the scent of food. You couldn't eat while you were cooking, but the smell of it, what it was supposed to smell like, is like how you know whether it's done or whether it's right or whatever the case may be. So that, you know, memories from my childhood, cooking with my father, which I never knew I was going to become a chef.
Being on TV, having this culinary experience, I have to talk to you about winning a very major competition, being on
I'll put
OWN.
my fork down for that one. Go
Okay.
ahead.
And being the actual winner of the Great Soul Food Cook-Off. Talk to me about the moments leading up to them saying and announcing your name.
The whole time I was on that show, I was losing, or I felt like I was losing. I wasn't prepared for the lights, camera, action of it. I was prepared to go on and talk about the history of soul food or talk about the history of West African cuisine and what we contributed to American food culture, but I wasn't prepared to compete with other chefs. It's like it's innate or it's given that we can cook. The competition is in how quickly you can cook it, how charismatic you are on camera, how well you talk to the all of that. The, you know, just the conversation, I'm not used to that. You know, the smack talk and all of that, I didn't do that growing up. I haven't had to do that as a chef, so I wasn't prepared. So I really literally thought I was losing the whole time. Especially when they said my name at the end, I was like, who? I was so shocked. Like, I'm still shocked. It's crazy to me. I'm glad I won though.
When was the first time that you actually realized you could cook?
I made catfish.
Wow.
My husband is from Mississippi and I made catfish. Yep, I fried catfish. And a few times that I fried it, I just kind of did it for myself to see what would happen. And then when I got it right, that's when I, prepared it for him. I prepared it for him and his parents who were visiting him in college. And it was all gone, like everything was all gone. But when I tasted it also, it just felt good, Like I had been cooking for years in school or whatever, but that moment was just like.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you some rapid fire questions about, the culinary experience, about being a chef. I feel like you're gonna know all the answers, so don't panic.
Oh God.
You got this, okay, Chef Roz?
Let me have some more. Let me indulge it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Isn't it good?
This is amazing.
It's really,
we did that
really
together.
Good. Yeah, we did that
Good
together.
job.
All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do you have a favorite food that's been passed down from generations?
Yes, collard greens.
Do you have a signature dish that you're known for?
Mac and cheese.
If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be?
Oprah Winfrey. Is she historical?
Yes.
Okay, there.
What's the most challenging dish you've ever cooked, and how did you overcome it?
Leg of lamb. By cooking it over and over and over again until I got it right.
What's the most important tool in your kitchen?
Me.
There it is. I think you passed.
Did I? Okay.
I feel like you passed. I just, I want to thank you again for coming on and teaching me.
Here's to the South. Southern offerings. Yes.